Alright everyone, we're going to be practicing what we have been calling partial quotients division, but we're going to be using something called a menu. Now, I could not find some good examples on YouTube for this just to send to you guys, so here I am recording my own. We're going to be solving a math problem that the students had a difficult time with the other day. It is going to be 53 into the number 1,465. Now, definitely not a number that they're probably going to see on a test here, but I do want to practice a more difficult number. This number actually had decimals in the problem, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to be doing it without the decimals. So when we are solving with partial quotients, it's very simple when we don't overthink things. So for the people that know how to do traditional standard algorithm for division, long division, this is similar, it's just broken into pieces. What we've been doing in classes, we've been creating a menu. What I mean by that is we're multiplying by certain numbers to give us a starting place to help us solve this problem. So I've been having the students write out these numbers, multiplying by 1. So 53 times 1 is 53. Then we're doing it by 2, so because this is an easier math problem without having to solve it on the side, I'm going to double a 3, and then I'm going to double a 5. Okay, then we're going to multiply by 5. I like to skip to the 10 first, because I know that with the powers of 10, 53 would be this, and then we have 20 would be the 106 with another 0 added to the end with the powers of 10 right here. Okay, then I'm going to come back with this 5. I'm going to chop this number in half because I know that 5 is half of 10. So to do that, I'm going to take this 530. I'm going to chop 500 in half. I know that like 50 cents is half of $1. I know half of 50 cents is 25 cents. So half of 500 is 250. Okay, so 250. But half of 30 is 15. So I'm going to add the 15 and the 50 in my head and get to 65. Now, the students don't have to do that in their head if they don't want to, but it works. Next, we're going to take these math equations that we've created without having to think through them while we're in the middle of the problem. We can reference this over here. I'm going to think about what number I can use that is going to take out a big chunk from this number. Okay, well, I see 1,060. I'm going to multiply by 20. So I know that 53 times 20 is 1,060. And then I'm going to subtract like you normally would with traditional algorithm. So 5, nothing, that's nice. 4, nothing. All right, I have 405 left over. So I need to figure out 53 times something over here is going to get me close to 405. Well, this one's too large. This one's definitely too large. I'm going to use 5. Now, I could use something else in between, but I'm just going to use with what I've got. 265. Subtract from here. All right, 5 minus 5, 0. Borrow. 6 into 10, we got 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. We have 140 left over. All right. Now, next step, we're going to continue with our subtraction. Okay, these don't work now. These are way too big. I'm going to use 106. That's multiplying by 2. Now I'm writing them on the side because we're going to need them in just a minute. All right, and I might run out of room actually. Hopefully not. I can't take a 6 out of nothing, so I'm going to borrow. I'm going to take a group of 10 from here. I'm going to put it over here. 10 minus 6 is 4. 3 minus nothing is still just 3. All right, 34. I have 34 left over. Now, then I ask myself, okay, none of these are going to work. 53 can't go into 34, so I just have 34 left over. Now my answer can be found here. Here's the magical part here. I have 20, 5, and 2. So I'm going to add those together. So 20 and 5 and 2 is 7. And then I have a remainder of 34 left over. So these are what we call partial quotients. I'm taking a partial piece of my quotient, of my answer. I'm taking pieces of it. So I'm taking out chunks. The key to help your students would be to look at the different sections that you see here. We created a menu and we're taking out pieces that we know. Then we add them up and we include our remainder at the end.